talking football.
Don't get fresh with me, young man.
Sorry.
My friends are here from Ferrall, Georgia, outside Atlanta. Ben and Matt, they've been drinking heavily all day. They're going to see Tampa and the Yankees. Wave to everybody back home. Y'all want to go down to Athens and watch the Bulldogs play football their own, too? Mafia. Mysterio. That's Lou. That's Brian. And that's Rasan Salam, the ball carrier. After a gifted career at Colorado and with the Bears, he started smoking the funk, and then he ended up with Ferrall. Anyway, let's talk Pain Day. Pain Day means pro football, and there were some great games last week. I think the biggest question would have to be, how fun was it watching Brett Favre get picked 3 times and do nothing all day against the Dolphins? They manhandled him, and he looks old as Old Man River. And I love it. With all the hype and all the talk and all the coverage, it never ends. Brett Favre, we're all just living in his world. Man, does he look awful.
See, what bothered me about the whole game, though, was the game could have been won by Minnesota. Unfortunately, Brett Favre didn't decide that outcome because Brad Childress decides on 4th down to go for it. He needed a touchdown to win the game. They were down 14-10, and he runs the ball. Why not throw Al Kleinsasser in the flat, try to hit him with a pass? Let Brett Favre win the game.
It's because they don't have any receivers.
But still, you could throw to the tight end. Shanko caught 9 passes. They give it a run. Miami has a good linebacking core. They got a good defensive line. They were going to stop the run no matter what you say in that spot.
Didn't I have a Shanko in 05 when I had that surgery? Well, never mind. What do you think of their chances, Rasan, against the Lions now this week? In Minnie, again, you think that after week 1 in New Orleans, week 2 they're home, they lose to the Dolphins, which no one thought was going to happen. Now they're home to face the Lions, a team that's lost both of their games by a hair on the chinny chin chin. You had the rip-off job at Soldier Field where they got burned on the Johnson catch, said he dropped it, he never dropped it. And then a roaring comeback against the Eagles, only to fall short by 3 at home. Now they go into Minnesota. What does Brett Favre do to the Lions?
I don't think he does much. They look real bad. Brett Favre had a horrible time moving the ball down the field. And I think Java Best is running his ass off. So I think the Lions are going to take that.
All right, so Cowboys and Texans. Can you believe that the Dallas Cowboys not only are 0-2, but at the length of torture watching them play on Sunday was the whole day. It wasn't like a little bit of bad football. It was the length of the game bad football. And the Bears stuck it down their throat via the air and via Forte on the ground. Why do you think the Cowboys are 0-2? And how can they go on the road and beat the Texans?
I think the Cowboys are 0-2 because they put too much pressure on themselves. Everybody was talking about the Super Bowl being in Dallas this year. They have to be the first team to get there, and they can't even win a game.
Weren't they going to play your Jets in the Super Bowl?
They were, but now they're not. Now it's just going to be the Jets against somebody else in the NFC. But the Cowboys put so much pressure on themselves that they can't live up to it. Tony Romo's playing awful. Wade Phillips is coaching awful, and the team just can't get it done. Texas looked great coming off that overtime win in D.C. I think they're going to get it done and rule the state of Texas.
What do you think of when you're watching, the Patriots and Tom Brady, and the game starts against the Jets, and for the first half it was pretty much that pass to Moss, which was one-handed grab, unbelievable, and they kept showing Brady with his long hair, and everybody's digging him. He's the most popular guy in the world. He's got the supermodel wife. How many times did you curse his name sitting watching a game wherever you were? I know you were saying bad things about him.
I was saying plenty of bad things. I mean, I hate Tom Brady, I hate Bill Belichick, I hate the Pats, but I was fine in the second half when they weren't showing him at all. And when they showed him after the game, and he just flat out said, yeah, we suck. That was the best day I've had in a long time.
All right, Falcons and Saints. The Falcons and Matt Ryan at home Sunday were unstoppable. Now they go to New Orleans for a division battle, and we're going to find out what they're made of now going down to Bourbon Street. Do you think Ryan can win that game on the road, or is it all about Drew Brees? Do you think the Saints can be beaten at home this year?
I think the Saints can be beaten at home, and plus they're coming off a short week. They had the Monday night game against the 49ers. Now they got to ratchet it up again in a couple of days, get set for a team. It's a rivalry game because the Falcons are the Saints' biggest rival. I think Matt Ryan's a good quarterback. I think he's got a lot of weapons. Michael Turner looks like he might be done for the foreseeable future with a bad ankle sprain and another leg injury. So there's their top running back. I know Jason Snelling's a good back, but I look for the Saints to come out and just destroy their bitter rival.
When I think of the Falcons, I think of Tony Gonzalez, whose natural supplement drink tastes more like ass, Tony's or Romo's?
How about we just go with Tony Romo's? How about we just go with Tony Romo's supplement drink? Because he doesn't have one, so I will not rip on both my friends. How about that? Is that a good answer?
No. The Steelers and Bucks. Can you even believe that my Steelers are 2-0 with no quarterback? Not only not a first string, not a second string, they're down to 3-4. Dixon got hurt. They had Charlie Batch in that game, but the defense forced 7 turnovers. And it really was unbelievable, the job they did in Nashville on the Titans. They held Chris Johnson to under 50 yards. I mean, it was just total defense, domination, turnovers. And I said going into that game, if you'll remember on the radio, if this team can hold every team they play to 14 points, they can win all 4 of those games. What do you think of the Steelers now taking on a 2-0 Bucks team? You heard me, 2-0 Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Josh Freeman.
I think if their defense can continue to play like they did last week, they got a shot. But Josh Freeman and Mike Williams, they've been connecting real well. And Josh Freeman looks like he's coming into his own. So, me personally...
Williams with a TD in both games.
Exactly. Personally, I'm going with the Bucks just because the Steelers don't have...
He's doing that because he doesn't like me.
It's because they don't even have a number 2 quarterback to play.
Dude, the Buccaneers aren't even going to get past midfield. All right, the Jets and Dolphins, it really is all about your gangrene going down to Miami. And I'm stunned at how good the Dolphins look. I think the key to that team is having Brandon Marshall be able to exploit defenses deep. And Carlos Dansby on defense was more vicious in week 2 than he was in week 1 when they stunned everybody. Dansby made more plays against the Vikings than anybody on the football field.
He did. He's been incredible for them so far. And you know what? Playing against another team, I might give it to him. But playing against my Jets, I'm going to be the homer.
Well, you're not even worried about, Taylor injured, Mangold injured, Revis tore his hammy when Randy Moss made Revis his bitch.
He did.
So do you think that they'll finally stop talking now that he's unbeatable? No one can make a play against him. He called him a slouch. He got bitched.
In the first half.
One-handed.
Didn't do anything.
Dude, that's if you make that catch in your career, that's the career highlight you show your grandkids every week when they come over for cookies. Did Grandpa ever show you that catch I made against the Jets? One catch. That catch was so good. Stay out of this. Packers and Bears on the Monday Nighter. Can you believe Chicago's 2-0? And Cutler looks good even though he's taken a pounding. Their offensive line is awful.
Yeah, I like the way the Bears have been playing. They're getting it from all aspects. They're getting good defense. They're getting good passing. They're getting good running. But I'll tell you what. This is the biggest rivalry game in possibly the NFL. It goes back a long way. Brett Favre years, the Don Majkowski years, the Jim McMahon years. Green Bay playing against the Bears is a huge, huge rivalry game. Now let me tell you something. Aaron Rodgers is legit. We saw it last Sunday. He put on a clinic. He will do the same thing and shred the Chicago Bears defense.
I agree.
No contest.
Are you on Rodgers or Cutler?
I'm going with Rodgers.
Rodgers, Cutler.
Rodgers without question.
I gotta go with Rodgers because I got him on my Ferrall fantasy team, baby. Check out Pain Day every week where we go through all the pro football games, and go to ScottBeatsTheMan.com to get all my picks for pro football every week. And don't forget, we shoot at Hurley's every single week in Midtown in the Theater District, right on 48th Street between 8th and Broadway, up in the Tiki Bar until it starts snowing. Either rain and snow and ice or hookers. Sometimes it snows hookers here in the neighborhood, but we'll do that on the next show. All right, so let's talk about this Temple-Penn State game for a minute. Why do I think Temple's got a shot in this game? Well, it's because I don't think Penn State's as good as everybody else does. Oh, Penn State. Oh, Joe Paterno. Oh, Happy Valley. Ooh, I'm just kidding. When have they won a game that mattered in the last 10 years? I mean, seriously. The last time they mattered was Pete Giftopoulos knocking down a pass against the Miami Kings in a national championship game in '86. Seriously. Robert Bolden is not that great of a quarterback. Yeah, he's got big guns and everything else. He's real athletic. But he can't pass. And I really don't see Penn State having any kind of a ground game. And they're no longer linebacker U, so I say Temple does have a chance in this game. And if you look at last year, they covered the numbers. So if it's huge again, take the Owls because they've had a decent team this year in Philadelphia. I wouldn't be surprised if they give Penn State a game. Penn State will win, but it'll be a game. UCLA and Texas. Why do I put this game up on the board? Because I can't wait to see Rick Neuheisel get it right in the teeth.
Yay!
I mean, honestly, you're not going to fall for this UCLA won a game because what? Houston lost their quarterback and their backup quarterback, and they have no one playing quarterback, and we're going to let the water boy play quarterback. UCLA stinks. Ever since Prince went down their quarterback, they have nothing, and they're going nowhere. They're doing nothing in the Pac-10, and Texas is going to ram it down their throats. And I don't even think Texas is that good, but I still think it's going to happen, and I still think it's going to be fun. So generally, when I watch a game like that, and I hate the coach, because he's a tool, I like eating popcorn while I watch. Oregon State and Boise State. Everybody keeps saying it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game if you like scoring a lot and you like aerial attack and the ball flying all over the field and people chasing the other guy down the field and then cheerleaders jumping up and down, because it's going to be passing, scoring, cheerleaders, and Boise State will still win by 30. I'm done listening to this talk about the Beavers are going to hang in this game and win this game. They have no chance on the blue carpet. Hey, did you see that Eastern Washington tried to be like Boise State and now they have a red football field? I kind of like it. If we get every team in the country with a different color, everybody can start eating acid again. It'll be great. Let's look at the additional games that I've thrown in there. Nevada, BYU. Nevada's unbeaten. They beat Cal, so they get on the board this week for a nice effort. And you know it's going to be another high-scoring game. West Virginia, LSU. West Virginia has no chance at LSU. I don't even think LSU is that good, but I know that West Virginia is not good anymore. Oh, their fans got all excited because they won a game in Morgantown. Whatever. When you have to struggle in your last 2 weeks to beat teams like Maryland, something's wrong with you. LSU doesn't lose at home at Death Valley tonight either. Cal and Arizona. By the time I get to racially profiled Arizona, I gotta go with Zona because they pulled off the big game win over Iowa. Notice how I didn't call it an upset, because Iowa never wins games west of the Rockies, and neither do Pac-10 teams lose to Big Ten teams when they play them at night. Big Ten teams go to the Rose Bowl and lose. Big Ten teams go west and lose. Big Ten teams go at night in the west and lose, and that's what happened. So Arizona was an easy snack for me. So I'm putting them up again against Cal, because Cal looks so bad at Nevada. I think Cal's going to look great in that game. Don't be surprised if they knock off Arizona just when Mike Stoops started to think they had something like a ranked team in Arizona and that they matter all of a sudden. Hey, we're getting kind of good, aren't we? Oh, what's that in our ass? Oh my God, it's Cal. And Oregon, Arizona State. Here's what's going to happen. The Sun Devils covered for me in Madtown against the Badgers. It was a great game. They lost 20-19. Now they're going to play Oregon and lose 120-19. And that little duck's going to be going like this. And I always like watching ducks do push-ups. Anyway, you love it when I dole out college locks. Go to ScottPizzaMan.com for all my picks and action this week in college from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Pro Sunday, Sunday night, and Monday night. You get it all. Every pick, every week, every game that matters. I rank them, just in case you're an idiot. And then go to GrowRadio.com every week to see Pain Day and go in the store to get Shake It Up shirts. I'll see you next time on Pain Day from Hurley's in New York City. Shake it. Ooh.